Hi everybody and welcome to Survival Dads. So today we're going to be looking at how to clean a set of trauma shears. So in this instance I'm going to be using my pair of xshears here. They are an awesome pair of shears, really get the job done, really tough and really practical. Now for the really cheap, almost throwaway disposable tough cuts, doesn't really apply. You can simply dump them with the clinical waste if you need to. But when you splash out on something like the xshears or perhaps the Para SOG or Raptor trauma shears, you really want to start looking after your kit. So this video is basically going to show you how you can field clean, and then when you get home after a shift, or if it's really dirty, you can really give it a good scrub, get it nice and clean for the next job. So without further ado, we'll get started. Okay, so first things first is going to be cross-contamination. You want to make sure that anything that's on these is not going to get on you or on your equipment at home or wherever you're cleaning. So first things first, make sure you're gloved up. Once that's out of the way, make sure that you have an area which you can set aside so it's nice and clean originally, and then afterwards you can clean thoroughly afterwards. I've bagged these so anything is kept inside here. And once finished, this can go in the bin along with all my other cleaning supplies. So when you're out and about, perhaps on shift or out in the public and you've used your shears, they could be covered in muck and horribleness. That's where some decent wipes come in. These are Clenel Universal. Really good. Kill pretty much everything I think you can throw at them. So first things first is we're going to use these and clean them as well as we can. So this can be field expedient cleaning, or it could be your first step when you get home to clean them. So we'll do that now. I generally start at the handle end. Doesn't really matter though, you're going to be covering these. Get in as much as possible. Make sure that you've got full contact all over. Make sure it stays wet for a little while, as this kills while it's wet. Being careful of the sharp parts, obviously. Give it a good wipe down. Really make sure you get into the nooks and crannies if necessary. This bolt here can be removed on the xshears. Same with the Raptors, you can simply take it apart as required. I should also point out, if you can autoclave, you can do so, but most people don't have that option if they are a volunteer or it's their personal equipment. So, but be sure to check with your manufacturing guidelines. Okay, so we are totally covered now. So you've got most of the rubbish off. What you do need to do though, if it's heavily soiled, you can always change the wipes as you go, removing the larger pieces and then getting into the smaller pieces. So everything's nice and covered. I'll let that do its magic for a couple of minutes and then come back. Okay, so the next step for us is going to be the thorough deep clean. So we've already cleaned it with the Universal Cleaner wipes. Next we're going to be giving it a bath in a very mild warm water and bleach solution. So let's get to it now. So in doing this, you want to make sure that you're not using a toothbrush that you would normally use or anyone else in the house is using. You can always set this aside specifically for this kind of purpose. So with the toothbrush you can really get into those nooks and crannies. The xshears are pretty good for not having lots of places for germs to hide, but with the Raptors there's a lot of moving parts. So it's always important to get them nice and clean. You can simply submerge certain parts, give it a good scrub, spin it around. Good thing about this is also it smells nice. So really open up the tool, get right in. And I'll just leave it to soak for a couple of minutes. Okay, so this has soaked for a few minutes now. I have a new pair of gloves on, as I'm now going to treat this as clean. I'm going to take it out, I'm going to shake it off, and rinse with cool, clean water. Okay, so now that they are rinsed with water, they're perfectly safe to handle, perfectly clean, and in sparkling good order. So what you need to do now is leave it somewhere nice and warm and dry. Make sure all the water is removed from the cracks. It's still a little bit in there, as you can see. And once that's done, what I would normally do is get some very light tool oil and just put some in the moving parts. So I'll put it basically around this bolt area here, make sure that's nice and lubricated. Shears like the xshears and the Raptors are corrosion resistant, so you haven't got to worry too much about that as long as you keep it dry and clean. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you're interested in checking out the trauma shears that I use anyway, I'll leave a link in the description below. So thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.